Hello and welcome to the Lucky Roll, an eclectic channel for eclectic games. And today we're having a look and a wee chat about Zaberias, kindly provided to us by the Zaberias team. And if you want to check more about the game, you could go to zaberias.com.
It's a game for 2 to 4 players, and essentially it's a war game.
Skirmish, nice straightforward battle game.
It's very reminiscent of the old RTS real-time strategy games in that you build an economy, build an army, send them out to fight, and whoever conquers the other person is the one that wins. I don't want to use the word basic because basic is actually the wrong context for this.
Yeah.
There's actually a nice little bit of substance and strategy to it. It's a very quick game, but the word I would use is streamlined. I mean, this is a game for kids ages 6 and up. And I think they really nailed it in that aspect because it's fun to play as an adult.
Yeah.
But kids who are at the very young age of, say, 6 can still play this game. It's not beyond them. They obviously won't be competing at the same level as an 8-year-old, 9-year-old, or 10-year-old, but they'll feel included.
Yeah, and if you're looking at the art as well, it kind of goes towards that kid-friendly style art. If you look just normal CG TV shows like that, and it looks cool as well if you're just looking at it, which is what struck my boys when they went to play it. And their main strategy for playing the game on the whole, it was the guy looks cool, I'm playing as that guy. So, and I'll go out and I'll battle my brother with him.
Well, I mean, in terms of first impressions, it does give a great first impression because you have 4 factions. You have humans, you have...
Undead, you have orcs, and you have guardians. Legally distinct blue people.
Yes, they're not the guys from Avatar, they just happen to have the same skin colour as them.
Yes.
But the package itself is really well delivered. I mean, this is your entire army right here. You have your battleground, which flips over. You have the army, you have the dice, and you have the economy. And I have to say, I'm very impressed with the packaging because this is, if you're going on a holidays or travel, or you just pick it up. There you go. Here's your army, here's your army, here's your army. The game is set up in 2 seconds, and away you go. I mean, I'm quite impressed at the overall package and delivery of it.
Yeah, it's also like, economically, if you think it is just cardboard, and except for the resin dice or plastic dice, whatever they're made of, and then that's it. It is the cardboard. Now, mind you, there was some shrink originally around each individual little board, and then some shrink holding them all together. But that would be it for single-use plastic then.
Yeah.
And the only other thing, it's a fantastic insert, and everything's organized in here. But the only thing I would like to see, maybe niggly from me, is some way to hold them all together, all 4, like a paper sleeve or a little band or something like that, just to keep them together.
Well, what I also like about it is there's a very tactile nature to it. I mean, this is a battleground. If you give me the top part of your board there, depending on how many players, the battleground grows. So you could have a big 4x4 or a 2x2, or even a 3 and 2 and 1. So if you're an adult and you're playing against 2 of your children, it could be 2v1 type of thing, and to have fun with the game that way. So it's very clever.
Yes, and having you point out having the kids go against the grown-up, it was just something we kind of had thought up of on the spot, because when I played against my kids, it was every man for themselves, and because they're a little bit younger, on the younger side, they're 7 and 8. I was vastly enabled to out-strategize them. There's no soft gloves, unfortunately, with me. And he was a little bit upset that he got eliminated first. Now, this obviously you get eliminated and you're out of the game. So if you're not into that particular aspect of it, then it might not be for you, and that can be a little bit crushing for some kids. He obviously was a little bit upset that he was out of the game, but the game might be over quick enough after that. But if you're to start with, I recommend, like with kids in particular in that age range, I'd say maybe the adults sit out and adjudicate, referee, and they play away, because my boys just love, all they did was attack each other. There's no real strategy outside of that. And once they have played it quite a lot, then maybe they could come into strategy-wise, or they got a bit older. Someone 10 and up would probably definitely grok the strategies available in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's streamlined, but what I do like about it is that there is a lot of nice, cool little strategies in it. I mean, there's certain units that have variable powers.
Yeah.
There are certain units that would have range. So you do have unit coordination. You do have a castle that you upgrade that gives you more gold for the next turn. So there's not basic little mechanics, but nice, fun, basic little mechanics.
You can learn strategy that way, like a nice way to learn it.
Well, that's it. I mean, so you've played it with kids, but if you were playing with grown-up kids like you and me, I mean, we've played this a few times. I have to say, I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, and you're well adept at skirmish games. This is your forte.
Well, I love wargaming. I'm a big fan of 40k, all different strategy games, things like that. But this surprised me and how fun and nifty and quick and streamlined it is. This is a lovely. If I had children, I don't want to, but if I had children and I wanted to kind of introduce the boys to wargaming or the girls to wargaming or anything like that, this is definitely. I would definitely play this with them. You know, you see if they have an aptitude for it, because it's a fun, clever, well thought out, very contained little game. I mean, the balance between the different factions is quite well.
Yes.
It doesn't go beyond. It's only basic arithmetic, but I mean that in its sense. If you're opening up a Warhammer book and you're going through 20 pages of rules to find out one kind of strategic power, or you roll 3 dice and you add it to the score, and this is a blessed relief, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, the maths of it is just about in my kids' age range. The strategy, not so much, and not really the reading. For me, it's about as educational as any other kind of game that would be similar to this. Like, you're going to learn addition in Monopoly and whatnot like that.
Yeah.
You're just adding up your dice. It was mostly me laying out the sum, if you will. So the guy has 2 power and he rolls 2 dice. They knew what dice to roll, and they knew his power and stuff like that. But it would be like me going 2 plus 2 to them. They could do the maths themselves, but it was me kind of adjudicating the rules process of that. They couldn't really be like, oh, how much am I after doing? Until I would pose that little maths question to them.
Yeah, but I can imagine it's a good way. The kids would get competitive. It looks cool. I mean, if I had to play a kids board game, say like Snakes and Ladders or Ghost Castle, I actually quite like Ghost Castle because it hits the nostalgia factor for me. But they're just roll and move games. But there's actually quite a bit of fun to this. I would play this game with kids and enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of value for money. What do you think?
Now, it said on their website $40, so that's roughly €40 anyway.
Yeah.
I think that's probably okay. That's about right. Like, I suppose if you consider that they are technically a smaller indie publisher, you're not going to be able to spend rakes of money on making a game. And from what I know of production, doing this tiered insert on anything is normally a bit more expensive anyway. Yeah. The individual pieces, the units, the dice, they're all nicely produced. This might be a little bit flimsy and some things could fall over when you slot them in, like the cities and whatnot. But I think on the whole, it probably is worth the $40, the €40. It probably get away with it. Like,
well, as someone who plays a lot of war games, and that is an expensive hobby.
Yes,
this seems
comparatively
for that type of genre, this seems like incredible value, because you've got the battlefield, you've got the soldiers, you've got the dice. You don't need to add to it. You have everything here. So and you've also 4 armies.
Yes.
You know, so I mean, you've 4 armies.
Maybe potential for more
armies.
later.
Yeah. I mean, but so one child could pick their favorite army and kind of consistently play it or change it over.
Yeah.
But I think for the mechanics that are in it, for all that is normally needed for a typical war game, I think this is actually great value for money.
Yeah.
It just going from the money sink that is kind of larger scale wargaming. I think this is a brilliant way to kind of introduce kids to it, you know, and even yourself, if you wanted to play that type of game with your children, this is excellent. So on a practical level, you're a man in his 30s, I'm a man in my 40s. You know, we have our opinions and our takes on this game, but there is an actual expert opinion on this game, I think, that took you aside and said something to you.
Yeah, my little boy, he said, "Oh, Daddy, after the review, can you please bring the game back?"
So I think if there's an opinion, if there's an expert opinion you should take into account, I think it's that one.
I can niggle all I want about this and that, but the real opinion is that he wants it back. He wants to play.
Well, yeah, but that's it. You know, I mean, if I had this game as an 8-year-old, I would have loved it. You know, there's a lot of really good stuff here.
Yeah, there is.
So until next time, this is Sean from The Lucky Roll and Eric.
Yep.
As always, if you enjoy these videos, please like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And you could also buy us a coffee on Ko-Fi, or is it a...
Coffee?
Ko-Fi and coffee?
It's one of them. The link is below or somewhere on the screen that James will put.
But regardless, if you wanted to buy us a coffee, we would very much appreciate it, even though I drink tea. But anyway, kidding aside, this has been our review of Zaberias, a very impressive game in my opinion.
Kindly given to us by the Zaberias team, and if you want more,
please check their
website, zaberias.com, or down below in the doobly-doo.
So, until next time, good luck, God bless, and stay safe.